talk to a guy who once held the belt in his weight class to a guy who is hoping to win the belt in the not too distant future. One of the rising stars who has certainly made his mark on 2019, a breakthrough fighter. In my opinion, one of the candidates for breakthrough fighter of the year. And he returns to action on very short notice on December 7th in Washington, D.C. against the veteran and the champion for multiple organizations, the great Overeem. There he is, the pride of Suriname, Jairzinho Rozenstruik, joining us for the first time on the program. Jairzinho, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. It's great to have you on the show for the first time, and congratulations on all your success. The first question that I have is, can you explain the origins of your name? Because it seems to me like Jairzinho is a Portuguese, Brazilian name, but Rozenstruik seems somewhat Dutch. You're from Suriname. Can you explain how this came to be?
No, first of all, thank you for having me on the show. And it's an amazing show. I'm happy to display myself on the show. So,
Thank you.
thank you. Next question. My name is Jairzinho. It came from a Brazilian former player. It was a player back then, I think 1988, with Pele and all those big guys, Maradona. And my dad and my mom, they love soccer, so they give me that name. And my last name, my country Suriname was a colony from Dutch, the Netherlands, and our first language is Netherlands, and we have a lot of things that make that are the same like Dutch, especially names, street names. Understand me?
So that's where. Have you ever met Jairzinho before, the player that you're named after?
No,
No.
I, I went to the museum in Sao Paulo, so I read a couple of things about him. So that's how I know he was a great player.
How would you describe the year that you've had? 2019, you've been training for a long time, kickboxing, you've been trying to rise through the ranks. First Surinamese fighter to make it to the UFC. Now here you are, 3-0, coming off an amazing knockout against former champion Andrei Arlovski in Madison Square Garden, turning around to fight Overeem, great Dutch fighter, main event, Washington, D.C. Like, does this all make sense to you, or does it feel like a dream the past year that you've had?
Nah, it makes a lot of sense and it feels like a dream. So yeah, I saw those fighters from the game, PlayStation, and now I'm competing in the heavyweight division. It's like I'm living in a movie, but I'm just walking the journey.
Considering your Dutch roots, if you will, is Overeem one of those guys? Was he one of those guys that you were trying to emulate as you were coming up? That you were watching, thinking, "Oh wow, one day if I could fight this guy, like, is this a bigger deal than the other fights were to you?"
You know what it is? I used to watch those fighters, even Lester Overeem back the K1 games, But I never thought or had those thoughts on my mind like I'm gonna fight him one day. No. So it's pretty surprising and it's a big opportunity. Yeah.
You just fought back in early November at Madison Square Garden, and then they came to you with this opportunity literally like 2 days later. I remember you were in the background when Masvidal was on the Monday after the show. I know the fight didn't last very long against Arlovski, just 29 seconds, but did you have any second thoughts about coming back essentially a month later, or did you take the opportunity right away?
You know what I mean? I just fought 29 seconds. I still in shape. Um, yeah, I don't have. No, I didn't hesitate. I was like, yeah, for sure, put me in.
Your last two fights combined, 38 seconds. Is there a part of you that, or maybe your coaches, maybe your coach would be the better one to ask this question, that feels like, okay, I would like a little more time to get comfortable, to show people what I have, to work on things? Or do you like these really fast fights?
I like it. It's a challenge, and even my coach are like, hey, how are we gonna do this? We're gonna try to finish this faster or what? So for us, is how faster, how better. No damage, huh?
Yeah, those are the best fights, right?
That's true.
When you went in there against Andre, did you think it would end that quickly? 29 seconds against a former champ? Was that what you were envisioning?
No, but I was prepared. I was fit. We trained everything I think he wanted to do, and yeah, as soon as he made the mistake, I hit him with a jab. I follow up, and yeah, that was it.
And I've seen footage on your Instagram, on this great video blog series that you guys put out surrounding that fight, of people just exploding watching that fight. You've posted some clips of people watching, I think in a bar or a lounge or something, just exploding when you knocked them out. Was that back home in Suriname?
Yeah, a lot of that was back home in Suriname, and you know what it is. In Suriname, MMA wasn't that popular. Soon as I joined the UFC, everybody was like, "Hey, we want to be a part of this. We want to know what it is." And now everybody in Suriname is watching UFC, and every child and every fighter who used to train kickboxing start doing jiu-jitsu and wrestling, and yeah, they want to be MMA fighters. So everybody is following what's happening
Because of you.
because of me.
Wow. So you were just back there just a couple of weeks ago. What was that like? What kind of reception did you get?
Nah, it was crazy. Everybody was all over, and everybody's happy and glad that I represented the country out of our own country. And yeah, it's big, it's huge, and yeah, it's amazing.
Are you getting like? Do a lot of people come up to you when you're? I see you here with the president, right? Isn't that the president of
Yeah,
uh
so
of Suriname? Like this. This is incredible.
yeah, it is. I got the full support of the president and the government supporting me for every step I make in the UFC. So I hope they join us for this fight in DC.
Prior to your emergence, perhaps the most famous combat sports athlete from Suriname was the great Tyrone Spong. Have you ever met with him or trained with him in the past? Did you watch him as you were coming up?
Yeah, Tyrone is a really good friend, a close friend of mine, and I used to train with him from back then, still doing the same thing. And yeah, I see him. I think I didn't see him a month because he went to England to train. But before that, we used to do our thing, hang out, train together, and yeah.
Is it possible that you are now more famous there than Tyrone Spong?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Tyrone is really famous.
Right. Maybe this time next year.
I don't know, maybe.
Okay. And of course, the reason why you're getting this opportunity is because of a very unfortunate situation involving Walt Harris and his stepdaughter. Was that a weird feeling for you? Because, and I know you've posted about, the efforts to try to find Anaya Blanchard. You're so excited, you're so happy. This is a big deal, your first UFC main event, but it's coming at the expense of a fellow heavyweight who's grieving right now, who's having, a nightmare of a situation play out in front of his eyes. How did you sort of compromise those two feelings that you were experiencing at the same time?
The situation is really, really fucked up because I have a daughter of my own, and I cannot think about such a thing happen to her, or So um, think of the situation is really hard. It's heartbroken, and yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Think about that side and think about the fight. It's not the same. Not
Yeah,
even the same.
right.
Yeah.
It's horrible. And we continue to pray and hope that there's a positive ending to that story for Walt and his family, the Blanchard and Harris family. And so now you are in Miami, correct?
Yes, I'm my brother.
So that's where you train. Do you live in Miami full time, or do you go back in between fights to Suriname?
I'm trained here. I'm kind of have a house here and train full time.
Okay.
And when I'm after my fight, I go home maybe 2 3 weeks and try to get back in the gym after.
And I noticed, by the way, that you're wearing the Find Anaya bracelet, which I think is a
Oh yeah.
great gesture on your part. Well done, my friend. And so you beat Alistair Overeem on December 7th. Where does that put you in the heavyweight division? There's not a lot of space between Overeem and the champ, right? I mean, he's a legend of the game and has looked good as of late. Where does that put you, in your opinion?
Now, for me, beating Ariel Helwani, it means a lot. But the fight I'm looking for is the Francis Ngannou's fight. He's a big, scary guy, and I think, yeah, that's amazing. You put two big heavyweights, strong, have who hit hard, create a bomb in the octagon. That's what we're looking for. I like exciting fights. So for me, that will be a great fight.
So that's the goal. Get through Overeem on December 7th, and next Francis Ngannou.
Yes, that's the goal for now. And after, we're gonna see what's happening.
Wow. I mean, once you get by Francis Ngannou, that's it. Then it's title shot, right?
Ah, it is what it is. We're looking for to be the best fighter in the world, and to be the best, you got to beat the best.
There's not a lot of people calling out Francis Ngannou these days.
You know, we are professionals, and I like that fight, me against Francis Ngannou, two big scary guys. That's exciting for me. That's a big challenge, and I really want to do that challenge also for myself and also to entertain the UFC fans. I think everybody want to see the fight.
Yes, that is a great fight. And he's been very, as you know, he's been frustrated these days that he can't get a fight. So I think he's willing to fight anyone these days. And if you beat Alistair, I think that would be a huge opportunity and actually the right move in terms of your progression as far as your career is concerned. Can I ask you about something that happened around 5 years ago, where it seemed like you were grouped in with a group of people who were trying to smuggle drugs, but they misidentified you and you were incarcerated for a couple of weeks? What happened there, and how scary was that? Since it was then determined that you had nothing to do with it.
For sure, I had nothing to do with it. I know those guys, and soon as they get caught, they started calling people names. They call my name. I went to there. For me, it was a fight I couldn't beat, and those fights you have to have the right people on your side, and financially to have the people who can support you with that, and that wasn't the case. On one kind of way, I still do some prison time, and after, was crazy. Was also heartbroken because I was also in the rise of my career.
Yeah. So how long were you actually? This is back in August of 2014. How long were you actually in prison for?
I think I was there for 16, 12 months, 16 or 14 months.
Wow, that long. Wow, I thought it was only just a couple of weeks. It was 12 to 16 months. And you had nothing to do
Yes,
with this. You were just falsely identified.
I had nothing to do with it, but so as I say, you get to have the right people on your side, like a lawyer, and you got to have the money to pay those guys. And yeah, it was a big case.
Are the people that were actually accused and found to be guilty, are they still in prison because of this?
I don't even know. As soon as I get out, you know what? I'm a social guy. I'm relaxed. I know a lot of people, and it went in a situation I didn't understand. And as soon as I get out, I try to not mix up, and people don't put my name in those kind of things.
Yeah. And this was in the Netherlands, correct?
It was in the Netherlands, yes.
Are you able to go back there
Yeah, I think next year.
next year? Why next year?
I had certain thing like I couldn't go there, and I needed to fight it, and it was still next year, and yeah, next year I'd be able to go there again.
Do you feel like this is something that has followed you throughout your career since? And is that frustrating at all because you were found to be innocent?
Yeah, in one kind of way, yes, because it had a lot. How should I explain this? It did a lot to me because you're in there with those guys, you know you don't belong there, and um, try to fight to get out, and one kind of way it didn't work. And then you come to a certain point like you have to work on yourself. How can I didn't see it coming, and people put you in such a kind of situation. So it was heartbroken, and I was kind of mad at myself because I didn't see it come.
Mm.
Yeah.
And being in jail for 12 to 16 months, but knowing in the back of your mind that you didn't do anything, how did you not, let that get to you? How did you not lose hope, lose faith? I would imagine after a few months, you start to worry that you might, be stuck here for a while, right?
That's true. It did a lot to me. I don't show much, but it did a lot to me personally. Because yeah, as I say, you're there with those people. You know you don't belong there, and there is no way, left or right. So everything is like solid, and yeah,
Do you find since then, since you were released, that you appreciate life more, that you enjoy life more? Did it give you a new perspective on life?
for sure. Before that, I didn't. I was always training, and I didn't like enjoy what I did. Like after my fight, do a kind of celebration, enjoy life more. But that's what I do now. Everything I do, I enjoy it, and I know that life is not easy. Everything you have, you got to appreciate it, and appreciate life more.
Why do they call you Biggie Boy?
Biggie boy. Ah, since I was a child, my name was difficult to pronounce, and I was playing basketball.
Oh,
I was 11 years old, and we were in a game, and I should make a shot, and everybody like, "Hey, take the shot, take the shot. Hey, you kid, you Biggie boy, take the shot." And since then, the name stays Biggie boy.
oh, I like that name.
Yeah, That's a really good name.
It sticks. That's right. Um,
Yeah.
so when do you go to Washington?
The 3rd of December, we fly to Washington.
Okay. Are you familiar at all? Is there like a Surinamese community in Washington D.C.? Because I was actually surprised. I saw several flags at Madison Square Garden when you fought. So do you expect to have a lot of people there supporting you?
I hope so. I'm not from around here, so I hope those people who live here, even Suriname people, come to support us and make me feel home. But what I used to is go there in somebody's home, beat somebody up, and go back home.
All right. And are you done with the kickboxing? Are you focused 100% on MMA?
200% on MMA.
Okay. Well, you're doing great things, my man. Congratulations on a great 2019 for you. 3-0, looking to go 4-0. Last two fights combined 38 seconds. Unbelievable what you're doing. You get by Alistair Overeem, you get that Francis Ngannou fight. That's a huge deal. So congrats on all your success, and good luck to you December 7th.
Thank you, and also good luck to you with your show. It's a great show. Following this a long time, and I'm happy to join the show now.
It is our honor. Thank you very much. Hopefully, we'll talk to you very soon. There he is, Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Up and comer in the heavyweight division, doing great things. Big opportunity for him on December 7th. Hello, everyone. It's Ariel Helwani. I just came here to thank you for watching our ESPN YouTube channel. It's the best. You know what else is the best? The ESPN app. You can get highlights, analysis, all that stuff and more. And if you want premium content and live streaming sports, there's only one place for all of that. It's ESPN Plus.